Hello, folks. This is Bela Vora, Realtor Caldwell Banker Preferred. And today we are talking about how do you select your realtor, whether you want to buy or sell a home. How do you go about in the selection process? The National Association of Realtors says that most people select the first realtor that they come in contact with, that have been referred to them or that answers their phone inquiry about any particular property. That to me is a little scary. You don't want to work with the first person you interact with. You want to do a little bit of due diligence before. So these are my three things that you want to look out for, things that you want to do. The first is ask your friends, family, colleagues for a recommendation. Nothing like a recommendation from somebody you know who loves their realtor. And that could be the first place to start. And don't end there. Again, there is still steps 2 and 3 involved, but yes, that is a good place to start. Um, the first thing I would do after I get that recommendation is, and get a couple of recommendations always, so you can evaluate these people, 2 or 3 realtors. Google them. That's the first thing I would do. Google the realtor and see what you find about them online. Do they have their business philosophy as a form of a business statement somewhere on their website? Or do they have a video that talks about their values and how they believe, on their beliefs regarding real estate? Or it also shows reviews online. We don't go to even restaurants without checking reviews or buy things on Amazon without reviews. Why would you hire a realtor to sell the most expensive thing or buy the most expensive thing you will ever own without checking reviews? So yes, these days there's reviews everywhere on Google, on Facebook, on Zillow, on LinkedIn. Check their reviews online and see what the clients are saying about them. It's important to see where your values align with this realtor. Like the little statement that they make may resonate with you, or a very slickly produced video talking about themselves that may resonate with you. Whatever your values, find someone who aligns with yours, whose values aligns with yours. That's the first step, is what I would do. And then I would take it the next step as in read a little bit more about their real estate experience. Barriers to entry in this business are so low. Other professionals like lawyers and doctors go to school for a lot of years and give a lot of exams before they get licensed and qualified to practice. 60 hours of education and 2 exams in real estate. Really, anybody can be a realtor. So it's what the experience and the depth and width of experience is what matters, really. But this is where I differ a little bit from a lot of other evaluators. I would say it's kind of like Goldilocks, to give you an analogy. I don't like too much and I don't like too little. So too little experience in my books, not that great. But if you feel like, no, she's a fierce advocate, she's somebody who I know and trust, then find out if they have a backup plan in terms of, okay, do you have someone with experience backing you up, who will be mentoring you throughout the transaction if you're really new to the business? And someone with 30 years of experience who may not necessarily be tech savvy or know how business is done today in today's market. So I don't particularly like either of those extremes. I do like the idea of a happy medium. Or in terms of transactions, someone who does hundreds of transactions a year as opposed to someone who does only 5 transactions a year. Again, kind of like Goldilocks. 5 transactions is not giving you the depth of experience. An average realtor, according to the National Association of Realtors, does 6 or 7 transactions a year. That, I believe, is not enough experience, because you only learn by doing. You only learn from your deals that you have done before. And then someone with 100 transactions in a year, that you're like an assembly line. You're like, widget on the assembly line, and you're passed on from one specialist to the next. And if that's your thing, hey, that's the agent you want to pick. You want to pick a big team with a strong, like employees and admins, and, who will take, each different person takes care of each part of your transaction. But if you're like, no, 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 that is overwhelming, I don't want that. I want the main realtor to be in touch with me constantly and answer my phone when I call and hopefully help me out, then the big team model is not for you, because they don't have the time to pick up your phone. You want to work with an individual realtor who will be in touch with you throughout your transaction. So different models, or even like there are people who talk about list to sell ratios, like what do you list your home for and what do you sell it for, or what are your average days on market. For the analyticals in you, I could pour, holes, I could I could debunk a lot of those theories about days on market or list to sale ratio. But if that's important to you, yeah, look into it and see, ask the realtor for the numbers, and they should be able to share those with you. And if they don't know what that means, that's telling you something as well. So apart from Googling what's already available information, the next step would be to ask them all these questions. Do you work as a team? Do you work by yourself? Do you have an admin? How long have you been doing this? How many transactions do you do in a year? What's your list to sale ratio? What's your days on market? So those are some of the analytical things. And if you need help with that, I'm happy to, you call me and I'm happy to help. I can help you find somebody anywhere in the country, or help evaluate realtors anywhere, if you're buying or selling. The third thing that I go for and look for personally is empathy. I love that word, empathy. We typically evaluate realtors on their negotiation skills, on the knowledge of local market. Yeah, you don't want a realtor who doesn't do any business in your area, or for their analytical skills, or their ability to understand the processes and the contracts. They should know what the contracts are all about. But assuming all of that is there, assuming that is a given, the next thing that I look for is the trust and the empathy. So now you've evaluated them on a lot of the statistics, but at the end of the day, what's your gut feel about this person? Will they put themselves in your shoes and be there for you and be a strong advocate for you? And that would be the deciding factor, according to me, before you finally say, yes, this is my realtor and this is who I want to go with. I think you owe it to yourself to do a little bit of that due diligence. And if this went too fast for you, I'm trying to keep these videos short. If this went too fast for you, call me and we can discuss some more. But these would be my three things. Just to recap: first, Google them, find out all you can about them. The second thing is dig a little deeper and find out more of their stats, their years of experience, etc. And the third thing is see if the values and the empathy quotient and that aligns with yours. And that's the person you want to select to be your realtor. Well, happy selling and happy buying. Hope this was helpful. This is Bela Vora signing off until my next update.